Frank is a VP now,
I
right?
just let people in. Sorry, Kathy, you were saying something?
Frank is a vice president now, right?
Yes.
Frank?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think people are coming in right now.
So I don't see any participants.
Are you logged in as Zoom 5?
Okay, so I see attendees on the right.
Yeah.
Okay. 28 people so far.
I think
And
Matt
I'm
has his
just-
hand raised. Should I?
Who has his hand raised?
Yeah, Matt's here.
Matt?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, I don't know why I'm not seeing myself as usual. But that's all right. I don't need to see myself, I guess. Can you see me?
No.
Oh, you're part of the panel. You're part of the presentation, right?
Yeah. So,
But I did not have Matt's email to send him his link. So
you can hear
I
me.
believe you.
Yeah, we can hear
Matt.
you.
Yes.
He'll be on at the end. So
All right. It's probably better that way.
thanks.
Is there
Matt.
anyone else that's supposed to be on
Are you
your,
up to
your panel?
Who, me?
Yes, they'll be
yeah.
there to support for questions at the end.
Okay. I didn't know if is it just the two of you giving the presentation? Okay.
Okay, I think we have people who are joining in, so we get started in just a minute. Let me. What I'm going to do meanwhile is go live on YouTube.
So after I do my part, I won't be on the screen anymore, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
if you want, you can come through the, just the regular link.
Okay. I'll disconnect then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, for some reason, the YouTube live is not working. It's saying it's not giving me permission. This is recording, so we'll probably just upload it on the YouTube channel later. I'm gonna continue trying to do that, but maybe we can get started. I'll try to figure it out later. Okay, all right, let's get started. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rovina Nimbalkar, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I am the Executive Director of NAMI Santa Clara County, and before we start with the presentation for tonight, I'm going to just go over very quickly with some of the NAMI Santa Clara County updates. So our helpline is up and running from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. By phone as well as email. And we also have our office hours right now. Office is open for the helpline. You can come into the office between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Those are the walk-in times. Our after-hour and family support is available on evenings and weekends. Support groups are all listed on our website, and you can check out the schedule and the time, which is offered over Zoom. Our website is www.namisantaclara.org. All our educational classes, such as family to family, familiar to familiar, persona to persona, peer to peer, provider education. To get more information about the schedule, you can contact a helpline number, which is 408-453-0400 and select option number 1. And you can get more details about when they're scheduled and get on the interest list. Our NAMI Basics is on demand and on our website, and you can take it at your own pace. And so is our NAMI Homefront. The community peer program continues to match via hospitals and self-referrals. And our FaithNet program also has an upcoming Mental Health 101. I don't know exactly the date right now, but I know there's one in April and there's one in May. So we'll keep you more posted, or you can just call our helpline number and get more information. NAMI Walks Silicon Valley is on October 1st. It's a Saturday, and it's at History Park, and we're really excited that we're going to be doing it in person again this year. We've started all the planning. We've hired our event manager. She's onboarding right now, and we're super excited to start working on how this event is going to turn out again the second year after the pandemic, when we're going to do this in person. The kickoff and the picnic, which we've combined together, we will announce the date for that very soon. We're still trying to finalize the location and get all the details together. So do keep checking our website or our newsletter, and you'll get that information soon. Okay, so now I'm going to hand it over to Kathy Forward, our consultant, because Kathy has to make some announcements. And yeah, over to you, Kathy.
Okay. Hi, everyone. It's that time of year again where we have to vote for our board members for another year. And we're happy to say that all of the ones that we currently have agreed to stay on another year. So that would be Uday Kapoor is our president. We have 4 vice presidents, Beverly Lozoff, Juan Perez, Harold Brown, and Frank Alioto. Our treasurer is Steve Wade, and our secretary is Peter Newman. So just need a all in favor. You can raise your hand on the screen by the lower bottom. It just says raise hand. So if we could just take a vote. Okay, I see the hands coming in. Okay. And I just want you to know that these board members are all volunteers and work very hard for our organization, getting the word out, as well as supporting Rovina as our executive director. So we're very lucky to have the people involved that we've had. And Vic Ojakian will still be our past president. Okay. So keep raising those hands. I need more votes. I think it showed 46 people and 23. I can't see anyone. So is anybody raising their hand, Rovina, on the screen?
Yes, so it's 46 people total, and 28 people have raised their hands.
Okay, so we have a majority then.
We do have a majority.
Okay, so I think next month is when we'll do the installation of the board at the next month's meeting. So thank you for participating in this, and we appreciate it. So I'll turn it back over to Rovina.
Thanks so much, Kathy. Thank you so much. Okay. So our topic for tonight is Independent Living Empowerment Project, which we call the ILEP project. This program is in Santa Clara County by Independent Living Association and Community Health Improvement Partners. Independent living homes provide a shared living environment for individuals with mental health challenges, various disabilities, and low income. The mission of ILEP is to support independent living operators, tenants, and community by promoting high quality independent livings. The goal is to empower tenants in their recovery. The Santa Clara County ILA team members are Hannah Brett, Program Manager, who has been part of this program since its inception in April 2022, and Ronnie Rodriguez, Peer Support Staff, who joined the program the fall of 2022. I'm going to hand it over to Ronnie and Hannah, but I do want to let you all know that there is a Q&A section that you can see. So feel free to post your Q&A out there. And there's also a chat available for you. So you can put your chat and your comments in that section. So that way it's easier for us to go through the questions if it's in the Q&A sections and just navigate that. So I'm going to hand it over to Ronnie and Hannah, and see you in a bit.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. So my name is Hannah Brett. I'm the program manager for the Independent Living Empowerment Project, or ILEP, and that is the ILA Independent Living Association here in Santa Clara County. So you will hear both ILA and ILEP, both referring to our program. So I am joined here tonight by my colleague, Ronnie Rodriguez. She's a peer support staff. And I also, to support me later for the questions part at the very end of the presentation, I have some of my senior staff on as well. Ada Leeper, who is our VP of Housing for Community Health Improvement Partners. We have Ignacio Liscano from our Fresno Independent Living Association. And then we have Rhonda Brown, the founder of the ILA, as well as a consultant to the ILA. So let's go ahead and get started. Next slide, please. All right, so the Independent Living Association and Independent Living Empowerment Project is funded by the County of Santa Clara Behavioral Health Services and facilitated by Community Health Improvement Partners, or CHIP. Our project, CHIP is a nonprofit based out of San Diego, and our mission is to advance long-term solutions to priority health needs through collaboration and community engagement. CHIP is focused on public health, and one of the branches of this focus is mental health. So ILA is one of the prominent programs of CHIP, along with we have Recovery Residents Association, Suicide Prevention Council, and Farm to Institution Center. Next slide. So as I mentioned, you'll hear both ILA and ILEP. Again, Independent Living Empowerment Project is the specific program for Santa Clara County, and ILA is the association as a whole. So the Independent Living Association's mission is to support independent living operators, tenants, and the community by promoting high quality independent livings. And so just to define what an operator is, that is the landlord or the business owner of the independent living, and operators manage the home, not the people living in it. So that's a key thing to remember for independent livings. And we believe stable housing is essential to the recovery and management of mental illnesses. So a little bit of background about the Independent Living Association. The concept originally was born in 2004, and then it took about 8 years to lay the foundation, get the ground running before they received some funding from the Behavioral Health Services Innovation Program down in San Diego County. And in 2015 was when the ILA was funded by San Diego County, and it's going super strong today. There's almost 100 members, so that comes out to almost 900 quality beds. And since then, we've expanded to Alameda County. We were there for 2 years, and then we're currently in Fresno County as of 2018, and then just as of April of last year, we are here in Santa Clara County as the Independent Living Empowerment Project. So let's take a step back and just make sure we're on the same page. So what is an independent living? So here in Santa Clara County, there's some common names that you might have heard instead of independent living, such as room and board, or unlicensed board and care, or even board and care. And so I just wanted to clarify a little bit. A board and care is a licensed facility, and then unlicensed board and care means that the home is doing things that it should require a license for. So we want to refrain from referring to independent livings as unlicensed board and care, and then they're not room and boards either. So independent livings are privately owned or rented single family homes or multi-unit complexes. So these rooms are typically shared, although some have private rooms, and the tenants share a room in the home while they have access to the common areas. And so independent livings also provide shared housing for adults, and they may be on a fixed income such as SSI, or they just benefit from the shared living environment. Now, independent livings do not require a license. So unlike the board and cares that require a license, there is no care provided in an independent living. There's no assistance with activities of daily living, such as bathing, grooming, feeding, no medication management or transportation. It is okay for entities, outside entities such as IHSS workers, in-home support, to be assisting the tenants as long as these tenants are able to be stable and independent when those IHSS workers aren't there. And lastly, within independent living, they provide structure, fellowship, and a familial atmosphere. So a little bit more on the population that tends to live in independent livings. So it may be adults diagnosed with mental or physical disabilities. They may have low income. They may or may not have supportive services. It is not a requirement to be in an independent living. They prefer living with others rather than alone. They may be older adults. They may have criminal justice involvement, and then they'll likely be at varying stages in their recovery. Next slide, please. So this slide explains the continuum of care and will hopefully help you understand where independent livings fall on the housing spectrum. So if you see up at the very top right, we have the care and supervision section. So the boarding cares, assisted livings, hospitals, all those require license and they'll provide that care and supervision. And if you go all the way down to the bottom left, you'll see apartments, permanent supportive housing, and the independent living home. So no care or supervision is provided. And so the ILA falls right there with the independent living homes. Next slide, please. So let's take a moment and just review some of the limitations about the ILA, some myths. So the ILA does not pay for tenants' rent or disperse fundings for operators. So the tenants will pay operators directly through either private pay, SSI, or their programs assistance. We are not involved in the business operations. The ILA does not support all housing, included assisted livings and boarding cares. Those are licensed facilities. We support just the independent livings, which do not require a license. The ILA does not place tenants in operator homes. So we don't do any of that direct housing referral or placements. What we do have, which we'll explain a little bit later, is an online directory that anyone can access. Case managers, family members, or individuals looking for housing, but we don't match like roommates or place tenants into a home. The ILA does not require tenants to be engaged in services, so that piece is not a requirement. And the ILA does not shut down homes because we are not a regulatory body. So we are not trying to come into these independent livings and say, oh, you're substandard, we're going to shut you down. We are here to work with the operators of these independent livings to raise and maintain the quality standards, because our goal is to keep these homes open, have the operators be better supported and educated so that they can provide a safer and healthier home for the tenants. So what we do is we will support the operators and make sure that they are maintaining our ILA quality standards, which we'll go into detail about in a little bit. And the other piece that we do provide is we have a complaint process. So if there's any grievances from community members, other tenants, you can, through our website, submit a grievance. And next slide, please. So let's talk a little bit about the membership benefits to the Independent Living Association. So ILA membership is completely free and voluntary, and we have 4 main pillars of our membership. We have our online directory, our education and training, the peer review and accountability, and the advocacy piece. So for our online directory, this is how we help the operators of the independent livings market their home, and we provide basic information about the home, which Ronnie will go into a little bit more detail and show you our website in a bit. we just show some pictures of the home, how many rooms there are, if they provide meals, some information like that. But this is a big piece of our membership because marketing can be super expensive. So we're connected throughout the community and people know to come to our website if they're searching for a quality independent living home. So the second piece of our membership benefits is the education and training. So we offer free training to the community and tenants, and as well as to the operators. And so the main, we have a course that is required for all of our members to take, and it's called Introduction to Independent Living Operations. And we go over from the foundation of how to start an independent living, if that's a business that you're interested in, as well as some budgeting tips. We go over some landlord tenant law, just a little bit of to lay the foundation. And then we go more into detail about our membership process, what our home visit looks like, and our quality standards. Some other trainings and educations that we provide are pest prevention, emotional support, Animal 101, evictions. We even have de-escalation courses. So we cover a lot of different topics related to this housing piece. And our third pillar is the peer review and accountability. So for that piece, this is where we will go into the home and inspect if they meet our ILA quality standards. And you'll hear us refer to the term PRAT, which stands for Peer Review and Accountability Team. So this PRAT team is the group of people that will go into the home and do the inspection if it meets our standards. It's made up of our ILEP staff, as well as other operators, tenants, and community members that are passionate about independent livings. So we would love to offer you the opportunity to join the PRAT team if anyone is interested and be involved in the home visits. We'll share a little bit more information on that later. But this, for the operators, is a great networking opportunity and to get some feedback, see some possible changes that they might want to implement into the home, and another way that we help them grow their business. The last piece is advocacy. So we're connected throughout the community with other organizations. So we can connect the operators or tenants with other resources and support. And we also do community presentations such as this to do some more outreach and then learn about how we can work with other organizations in the county. But we support the rights of independent living businesses, operators, as well as tenants. So this is an overview of our membership process. It's super simple, and as I said, completely free and voluntary for any operators of independent livings in Santa Clara County. So our goal is to get as many independent living homes as possible, or ideally all of Santa Clara County, to be a part of the Independent Living Association and ensure that the individuals living in this home will have a real home that is safe, they feel comfortable coming home to, and they can focus on their recovery. So these are the 3 phases of our membership process. You can see number 1 is complete the required education course. So this is the Introduction to Independent Living Operations course that I mentioned, goes over some foundations of operating an independent living home. The second is the membership application and required documents. Can either submit a paper application or through our website. There's a link. It takes about 5-10 minutes. And you submit your house rules, rental agreement. And then the last piece is to become a member, the operator their home must pass our PRAT home visit. So where we go into the home and see if they meet all of our quality standards. Next slide, please. So I've been mentioning a lot about our quality standards. Here's a list of our 8 quality standards. This is the bread and butter of our program. and they were developed based off of code enforcement and other HUD standards. So we didn't just come up with these out of thin air. These are also just basic foundational standards that we believe every single independent living home should meet. And sadly, in Santa Clara County, we do not see that. So that's why we are here, to support the operators to meet all 8 of these quality standards. So for example, number 1, clean, safe, and well-maintained housing. So that we go into the home and we have a list of indicators that we evaluate. What does that actually mean? Because your example of clean may be different from mine. So we have a list of indicators for each standard that we will go in and make sure that the home meets. And during the application process, the operators will sign this comprehensive list so that they understand what the quality standards are and what they're expected to meet for their home. So for the second one, a clear statement of policies is explained and made available to the tenants before their lease signing. We also included in that quality standard want to make sure that there's a disaster plan posted in the home. House rules are posted in a common area for all the tenants to see, and they're made aware, as well as the rental agreement being clearly written. Let's go to the next slide, please. And here is an example of what the indicators look like, one part of quality standard number 1. So we go into the home and we'll make sure electricity, water, and heat, air conditioning, all of that is working properly. We want to make sure the inside and the outside of the property is safe. So there's no exposed wires. We want every window just for safety hazards. Want to make sure there's no fire hazards. We also check that all the smoke detectors are working, that there should be one in every room, every bedroom, every hallway leading into the bedroom, as well as the common areas. So that's just a little bit more detail so you know how we are evaluating these homes. Next slide, please. So we took all the quality standards and the indicators and we combined them into a checklist. And this is an example of the first page of our checklist that we use for the peer review home visit, or PRAT. And during our operations course, the first required course, we walk through the operators, the entire PRAT home visit, so they are aware of what to expect. We want to be fully transparent. We want them to feel as supported and prepared as possible. So we walk through this. And again, the purpose of the peer review home visit is to ensure the home meets all 8 of our quality standards. And this is also an opportunity for the operator to receive tips and best practices. Next slide, please. So again, this list was taken from our indicators of the quality standards. So this is to get a little idea of what an ILA member home looks like. So when we go into the home, you'll see we check in the bedroom and make sure that there is a frame, a mattress, and a box spring, the bed. We do not want any beds on the floor, and we also want to make sure there are no bunk beds. This is out of safety and the respect of the tenants. We don't want them to feel like they're in a facility nor in science camp. So we want to make sure that there are no bunk beds. Each tenant needs to have access to either a closet or dresser space to store their clothing. There needs to be a communal dining area. So these independent living homes, this is a shared living environment, and it's a family living. So everyone needs to be able to sit down and have a meal together if they wish. We also want to make sure in the kitchen that it's fully equipped. So there is a working stove, as well as refrigerator. microwave. Maybe some have a dishwasher, but the refrigerator needs to be accessible 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They need to be able to have access to the whole kitchen as well the entire time. There also needs to be a washer and dryer access. A lot of our homes in Santa Clara County do have a washer and dryer on site, but some in other counties or may have one that's at least walking distance, but that's a requirement, an accessible washer and dryer, because we want to encourage the tenants to practice good hygiene. So next is centrally located TV with accessible channels. Again, this is that shared living environment and encouraging that community living. So a lot of our homes will have that centralized TV, although some may have them in the bedrooms. It just kind of varies. The minimum requirement is 1 bathroom per 6 tenants. Luckily, we've seen numbers more like 1 bathroom per 3 or 4 tenants, which is great, but the 1:6 ratio is based off of HUD standards. We also want to make sure that in the ILA homes, there's adequate heating, air conditioning as well. All of that is working properly. And then they need to have access to a landline. So that is 24/7. They need to be able to have that, the landline accessible. Next slide, please. Ronnie, next slide, please. Thank you. All right, so let's take a look at some of our ILA member homes here in Santa Clara County. So what we see here is the bed is off the floor. There's no bunk beds. They have a frame. You can't really tell in the picture, but there is a box spring. And there is also a dresser space for them to put their clothing. A closet space is acceptable as well, but there's enough space to comfortably walk around. We also check in each bedroom that there's a working smoke detector, that there's screens on the windows, the lighting is working, all of that. And we recommend that operators offer a locked space for each tenant to store their personal belongings and their medications. So in the kitchen, it's really important that it is clean and organized, not super dirty. We want you to feel good coming to your home. It's important that food is not left out because we don't want to invite pests. There needs to be at least working stove or the microwave, a fridge accessible 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And oftentimes there will be a chores list posted on the fridge that lists the responsibilities of each tenant pitching in and contributing towards caring for their home. Next slide, please. So this is some examples of the common areas. We'll check that they have a landline phone. The house rules are posted up in the common area. Sometimes it's on the fridge in the kitchen. A lot of homes have the TV in the common area. We also check that sometimes there's a fire extinguisher in the common area. We want to make sure that that has a recent inspection tag and that it's properly charged. And we check for smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors as well. So now I will pass it off to my colleague, Ronnie. She's going to go over the website with you. Ronnie, I think you might be muted still. There we go. Now we can hear
Hello.
you.
Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening. My name is Ronnie, and I'm a peer support staff with the Independent Living Empowerment Project. And I'm going to be going over the website and just show you how simple it is to navigate. So if you will bear with me, I'm going to connect us. Sorry. Um,
You still see the PowerPoint up, just to let you know.
okay. Okay, so can you see my screen now?
Yep, now we see the website.
Okay, great. So this is the website and it's ilacalifornia.org. As you can see here, we serve the San Diego County, the Santa Clara County, and Fresno County. To navigate this, you can just click on the links here for the county, or you can also go on the left-hand side and click Santa Clara. So our website, we have a search bar here on the left-hand side, and it's tailored for your needs. So you will select the city that you would like to search in, and you can also search for the type of room. Are you searching for a private room, or a shared room? You can also look for the specific population that you prefer, whether you're looking for veterans or male-only home. Once you've put in your selection, you will push submit, and you will have a selection of ILA reviewed and approved homes. So for example, here we have Hopeful Living, number 1, and it has been ILA reviewed. So if you would like to see availability, the number here for contact, you can see, and you can also view other information of the home, such as how many beds there are, and if there's an operator that lives on site. It will also show you the amenities that the operator at this site offers. Some operators offer 3 meals, and some offer toiletries. This operator, we can see, serves 3 meals and has limited toiletries. Here, it will also show us some photos of the home. We can see shared living. And as well as member information on the home. So we can see when there was a last peer review, and we will also be able to see what the involvement is of the operator. So here, this operator has been very active and has gone to our independent living operation course and Legal Shield. So once you've found a home, you can definitely call them and go look for the home and start your application process with them. Another thing that you can look and find on our website is our quality standards that Hannah has went over. This is all 8 of our quality standards, as well as you can apply for membership here. It will only take you 5 to 10 minutes, and it just asks you for information on your home so that we can use it for marketing purposes on our website. On our website, you will also find community resources, and these resources are available for our operators and our tenants. As Hannah had mentioned, we do get complaints, and our complaints and grievances do come in through here. So if you're a community member, if you're a tenant and you have a complaint, you can very easily go to the ILA California website, go under the tab and fill out the complaint form. Also, you can find on our website our calendar. And our calendar offers classes for the operator. So you can see we have a pest prevention course that's coming up soon. And we also offer some tenant courses. So this is our website, and all 3 counties are here. And I can pass it off back to Hannah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ronnie, for showing us how to navigate the website. So as you can see, super simple to use. And so our program just started last year, and we have been building our directory. So in the next coming weeks and months, you'll see that directory building. You'll see that list growing of more quality independent living homes in Santa Clara County. So Ronnie, can we go back to the slides, please?
Yes.
Perfect. So next slide, please. There we go. All right. So now we would like to ask you all for your help. So if anyone is interested in getting involved with doing the home visits of the independent living homes and being a part of our PRAT team, the peer review and accountability team, we have a QR code right here or the link, and you can just scan that with your phone and fill out some information, your contact information, and we'll reach out to you about joining our PRAT team. If you are an operator or tenant of an independent living, then you will receive gift cards and compensation for your time. And then the other piece is, if you know of any other independent living homes, you can use that QR code as well. So again, any operator of an independent living in Santa Clara County can join our association. And our goal is to get as many of the independent living homes, or ideally all of them, to be a part of the Independent Living Association, to ensure that the individuals living in these homes can focus on their recovery. And so we need your help to share, to learn about other independent living homes in the county. And so, yeah, you can use this QR code. I will also put this link right here in the chat that you can fill out. If you know of any operators or independent living homes that might benefit from our services, which are completely free and voluntary, but any information would be super helpful so we can go and outreach to those homes and hopefully bring them on board as an ILA member. So that link will be put in the chat in a couple minutes, but you can also scan that QR code and put both of, either if you're interested in joining the PRAT team, you can share your contact information with that survey, as well as if you have any information about independent living homes in the county. And next slide, please. All right, so now I would like to welcome our founding member, Matt. He has been an incredible operator in the county for a really long time, operates multiple homes, and he was our first ILA member. We are super excited to have him be a part of our association, and we have invited him here tonight to speak a little bit about his experience with the ILA. So, Matt.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Hello. I'll pass it off to you, Matt. Thanks so much for joining us.
Okay, yeah, no problem. You can hear me okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I can't see myself on the Zoom call. So anyway, yeah, hi, my name is Matt Jacobson. I'm the operator for UPL Enterprises. We started in 2016 in Santa Clara County with our first home. So we've been doing this for about 7 years now. We currently, as of today, we have 11 homes that we operate in Santa Clara County. ILA has been just like a godsend blessing for us. I mean, it's wonderful to work with them. They've provided us with so many resources, and their experience has been so helpful. They provide us with guidelines that we can follow simply to, have quality and standards in our homes. A lot of the things that we did before ILA was just kind of on our own without a lot of help and support. So it's really nice to have the experience behind us to come in and kind of partner with them to improve the quality standards in the homes. Also, it creates an environment that we can, oftentimes there's a lot of misunderstandings that do happen, between the landlord and the tenant. And no matter what, there is a tenant-landlord relationship there, with the tenants and with us. But I think having ILA involved, it helps us to create more of a, like we're working together, more of a teamwork atmosphere, because the tenants can see that we're working hard to, create a quality home, and it helps them to help us to work harder together to keep that working on. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I mean, I could go into greater detail. I'm happy to answer any questions with you. I would encourage you to get involved with ILA. It's been just wonderful for us to be able to work with them, and that's it. I encourage you to get involved.
Thank you so much, Matt. Thanks
No
for
problem.
joining us tonight and being an incredible operator for our county.
No, you're very welcome. Thank you.
All right, so Ronnie, can we go to the next slide, please? So this last slide is just our contact information. I'll wait for it to pop up. Are you able to go to the next slide, Ronnie? Perfect. All right, well, that concludes our presentation. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight and taking an hour out of your Tuesday evening. We hope you learned a lot about the ILA, and we would like to open it up for questions. So if you could use the Q&A, I saw some coming in earlier. I also, as I introduced at the beginning, we have some of our senior staff that joined as well to assist with questions.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Hannah. Thank you so much, Ronnie. Is it possible to, once everyone takes information from the slide, your contact information, is it possible to make the screen smaller so then I can see who's raising their hands and go over the questions? But before that, if anyone wants to take a picture of the slide, go ahead and do that. I know there have been some questions in the chat. We'll come to that, but if it's easier, if you can just copy paste the same questions that you put in the chat into the Q&A, that way then it'll be easier for us to navigate. So let's get started with the Q&A. So the first question is, do you expect the operators to limit room and board to SSI amount? My experience is that a lot of the board and care falls short of your expectations in order to balance the budget.
All right. I am going to call on the founder of the ILA. She's joined us here tonight, Rhonda Brown, to speak on that question a little bit more.
Okay, Rhonda, can you raise your hand? Then I can find you here.
Or if Ignacio wants to jump in there too.
Trying to find Rhonda here. Okay, I'll let Ignacio speak.
Oh, awesome, thank you.
Okay, everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Okay, so if I'm understanding the question correctly, The question is regarding to the rent amount and the income that is gained by some of the tenants through SSI, correct? Okay.
Yep, I believe so.
Okay, so when the ILA or the ILEP in this matter consults with the operator and assists them in structuring how they would like to set the rent rates for what's best for their business model, is we do look at what the fair market rent is. You have to take into consideration what the budget of the business is formulated for, meaning for if they're if they own the home, what their mortgage is and their insurances and all that stuff needs to be calculated in. If they are leasing or renting the home legally from another landlord, that needs to be calculated and factored into the all of the rent rates as well. Now, keeping in mind that this is still a business, so there does have to be smart business decisions made when structuring the rent. But all of the operators are coached on understanding that the folks who utilize this type of housing are on a structured and limited set of type of income. So when the business model can call for rent rates to be at a certain rate and that are much more comfortable for more people, they are. But let's be honest, in some counties, it's just more expensive to live in some places than it is others, which means that business costs are going to be a little bit higher than they would be in other counties as well. So yes, that is all taken into consideration, but also we have to remember that the ILA is structured like the Better Business Bureau, as far as us helping the operators run their business successfully, which turns into the high quality housing for the community.
Thanks, Ignacio.
You're welcome.
Okay, so the next question is, I had seen a question, I think it vanished. Somebody asked about an oven and internet. I don't see the question anymore.
I did type an answer for that one.
Okay,
And yeah,
great.
a lot of the independent living homes in the kitchen. So with the stove is the oven. And yeah, as well as microwave and fridge. And then there's a second part of that question, I think. I answered was about internet. So a lot of the independent living operators will include internet and other utilities in that rent. So the rent is just kind of flat rate, comes with, some of them come with meals, a lot of them the amenities. But on our website that Ronnie showed, if you click on the home, you'll scroll down to the amenities and it'll list if they provide, TV, Wi-Fi, cable, entertainment, things like that.
Okay. And there was another question that you answered. I'm just going to read it out so that others can hear that too. The question was, do the independent living homes need to have 4 walls or can they be RVs? And then Hannah, you responded in the Q&A, independent living homes to be part of our association do need to be homes or apartments that the rooms are being rented out. So the next question is, are there limits on how much an operator can charge for the rent?
Technically, no. So that is, but for the operator of the home to decide. As a business owner, we do work with them and kind of explain their population. And if the rent is super high, they're not going to be able to get many referrals. So it kind of might work out like that. But it's up to the operator. But we advise them of, what is reasonable. If it's too high, we'll talk to them about ways that maybe we can support them with their budgeting to reduce some costs to get that rent to be more affordable for this population. Okay. Rhonda raised her hand.
Yeah, I
just Rhonda chime in as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just letting you know I was here.
Thank you.
That is correct, Hannah. The operators do their budget, and when they submit the documents to us, we compare it to what the going rate for SSI is for that area. And we let them know you can charge this much, but you're going to alienate the population you're trying to offer housing to. And what can we do to help reduce that? Besides the mortgage or the rent, the food is the highest cost. And so maybe getting food donations, all sorts of things like that. There's big box stores that will donate fresh fruit and vegetables and actual meat. Just have to ask them, and that will help reduce the cost, therefore reducing what they charge for rent. Okay.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Okay. There's another question. I'm interested in finding more available independent living homes within Santa Clara County for an older adult with mental illness, with low fixed income from SSI.
All right, well, that is perfect. So you can check out our website, ilacalifornia.org, and then click on Santa Clara County, as Ronnie showed us. And that is a lot of the homes will serve that older adult population with mental illnesses and on fixed income. So that is perfect. You can give those operators a call for the homes. And yeah, and as I said, in the coming weeks, we'll be growing that list on our directory and getting some more quality independent living homes for the, yeah.
If I
Thanks,
can add on really quick on it.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. There's a couple of ways to help with rent, and again, our operators, we've coached them in different methods and ways of helping out the community in different ways. So one of the other ways that we could do is negotiating rent. So in the aspect of if the home is serving meals, but maybe you're working with a client who may not have a whole lot as far as cash is concerned and as far as the SSI portion is concerned, but they are receiving some type of CalFresh benefits, so they can purchase their own food and they know how to cook and they know how to do those kinds of things. You can always talk to the operator about negotiating meals out of the rent, and that would lower the rent rate for them and giving them time to cook their meals in the kitchen. And that's another way too that some of our operators have been able to work with some of our community members is by designing the contract to have a rent rate that doesn't have meals included, so it's able to knock some of that initial rent down.
Thanks, Ignacio. Okay, so the next question is curious about low income and emotional support service animals.
So yeah, Rhonda, do you want to? I was just going to say we offer courses for the emotional support animal 101. So we offer an education course, and I think in the past that was open to the community. Yeah,
and we will continue. It's sort of a touchy subject, but we do teach what the law says when it comes to emotional support animals versus other types of animals. So we definitely teach about that and what the difference is. It's more of an education for the operators. What does it mean when you say no pets? Well, an emotional service animal is not a pet. Service animals, not a pet. So what does that mean? And so, yes, that class is open to the public, and it does go over the legalities of what a landlord can require and what they cannot deny.
Thanks so much, Rhonda. The next question is for Matt. What are some of the names of your independent living homes?
I believe he listed some in the webinar chat.
I was trying to find the mute. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Sorry. I'm not the best Zoom guy. But I will tell you that, I mean, I can name, UPL Enterprises, our 11 homes the names of our homes are just go by the names of the street they're on. So, you know, the Belrose house is already an ILA member. Right now, we're almost got our Latimer house in Campbell is going to be an ILA member pretty soon. Then we have the Almaden houses. There's 2 houses on Almaden. There's the Mount Herman house, the Mount Palomar house, the Carl house, the Rue Tours house. So we just go by the name of the street, and you know, each home has its own name that way. So
Thanks.
you can go to our website, which I already put on the chat, which will help you, you know, find the rooms that we have available. You know, and also the ILA website is a good place to go to, obviously. Go to ILA website.
Thanks, Matt.
Go there
Yeah.
first.
Thanks so much. I'm just going to mention that, you know, if you can call our helpline number as well to get an additional list of housing in Santa Clara County, and also want to encourage everyone to get your homes to join the ILA. So let's get on to the next question. Are meals provided in these homes? I came late, I apologize. Are these like care homes kind of? And I think I do see Rhonda had responded to this question that meals are provided by some homes, not all of them. So I'm just gonna move.
I will add that if a home, if they're providing meals, it's going to be a term inside the rental agreement. And so once that's signed, operators can't just change their mind during tenancy and say, I don't want to cook anymore. So it is in the contract for them to do. So once it's in that rental agreement, they have to continue to do that. So with that being said, some homes choose to do that and some homes choose not to. So check the website to see if you're looking for one of those.
Perfect. Thanks, Rhonda. Next question is, I think some people want a copy of the slides. I'm not sure if you share the slides, but they're asking if they can get a copy.
Yeah, we'll share like a condensed version, make sure that you get the our contact slide for sure, and then the survey, but we'll share some of the slides, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Next question is, what is the average rent in our country for a bed in a shared room?
So in our county, we often see like $1,000, $1,000 to $1,200 for a shared room is what we see. And again, that includes the utilities. Sometimes for those homes, meals are provided as well. So it's kind of that fixed rate for everything.
All right. Next question is, can tenants bring their own computers in bedrooms, and do bedrooms have key lock?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the homes, the rooms, they have their own computers, and trying to think of all the homes. I'm pretty sure all of the homes, they have their own key. The tenant has a key to their room. So yeah, that's common as well. Think of it as if you were renting an apartment or just renting a room from someone as well. This setup is very similar.
Are there any issues with illegal drugs in these homes?
In the house, it states that for almost all of these homes that there's no use of drugs or alcohol or any illegal substances in the homes. So for our ILA member homes, that does not happen. I can't speak for the rest of the county.
Yeah.
Let me add to that one
Yes.
too. Like all tenants, you know, sometimes there's rules that are broken. And so it's dealt with by a lease violation. So these homes are, the operators are just managing the house, not the individual. There's no services or anything. So if somebody is still actively using and they go out and do that, the operator can't do anything about that. However, folks cannot come back to the home and break the rules by being disruptive. So that's the difference. So we can't control what the tenants do. And, you know, we do work with Housing First. there's not a requirement for you to be sober and at the top of your mental health game. That's not the deal. So once owners notice something or should have noticed something, then they are required to act. Okay.
Yeah. There's a follow-up question, says, what about cigarette smoking not in the room?
Ooh, most homes have no smoking in or around the property, or they'll have a designated spot out and back. And when the Pratt team goes out and checks, they're looking to make sure smoke is not, billowing over to the neighbors or those type of things.
Thanks so much, Rhonda. Next question is, not all people could successfully live together. What role do you play in vetting residents for a specific home?
So as we mentioned during the presentation, we do not do any housing placement. That is up to the operator as it's their business. We do educate them on certain tenant screening questions or some de-escalation techniques. We hold courses for that as well on how to kind of mediate the situation. The ILA, we can also come in and be that unbiased third party between either roommates, or sometimes it's between the operator and the tenant, but we are here as a support. And if that doesn't work, we can connect with other resources within the county that can help mediate that situation.
Thanks. The next question is there assistance for low or no income?
There definitely is. We can provide some resources. We do not offer that income or rental assistance, but we are connected with other organizations within the county that do. And I'm sure NAMI is as well. So you can, just utilize the resources in the county, but that is not something that the ILA does. We support the operators of the home, but we don't support, or we don't offer that income. Yeah.
Got it. Thanks. I'm going to go over the chat. I do see some questions there. The next question is, do tenants sign 1-year leases?
That really varies on the home. A lot of them are month to month, but that depends on the operator and the structure of their business.
We do discourage that so that it's easy for a tenant to leave within 30 days if they're not comfortable or this is no longer meeting their housing needs. So we highly discourage that. And there's really no benefit in it for a landlord to do so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The next question is, how many beds are available?
Like ILA beds, or like just in general? You can clarify.
I think Senator Jim Bell had that question. Senator, did you have a follow-up?
So I can expand a little bit based off if you're for the ILA homes, we don't currently track the vacancies. That is a project that we're working on doing, but it does flux a lot. So there's a lot of vacancies, between weeks. If you're asking in general among the county,
He's asking
that
ILA.
is not tracked.
He's asking ILA.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. I am going over, I think we've covered pretty much all the questions here. Okay, this question is, are houses supervised and certified to make sure they're providing the services they say?
So this is, sorry, that's my emotional support animal in the back, snoring. So these homes do not provide service at all. Under no circumstances can they provide service, right? That is something a licensed home has to do. So services meaning assistance with bathing, feeding, clothing, that kind of stuff. that requires a license. These type of homes are for folks who literally can do these things themselves, because the operator cannot. The operator manages the house, the individual manages themselves. And so there's a screening process to make sure before anybody moves in that they can do this. They can get to point A to point B by themselves. This is a unique type of housing because it is the lowest barrier housing. You could literally walk right in the same day or the next day. So highly useful to get folks off the street, and it's often used for transitional, and that's okay, month-to-month transitional. So it has a lot of flexibility, but services is not one of them.
Thanks so much. Two more questions just came up. Is there an organization for less well-appointed independent living situations, such as a community of teardrop trailers, for example?
A community of trailers, you said?
A community of teardrop trailers, for example.
Okay, I'm not really sure what that is. I heard trailers. No. And I work in all the sites, and no, it really does need to be a home or an apartment complex. Because a lot of it has to, we want to make sure it meets certain safety codes and all that kind of stuff, and that everything is running, and that, you know, it's not movable. There's some other code enforcement things about homes being movable and all that good stuff. So we don't even get into that. It is typically a R1 zone residential home in a neighborhood that can be owned or rented to do this out of. So anybody out there who wants to open up one, come see us.
Yeah. What is the average rent for a solo room, not shed?
I'm sorry, a solar room?
What is the average rate for a solo room, not shed?
Hannah, is it still $1,000 a bed on average?
That's on average, we see that more for a shared. I
Yeah.
would say a private room would likely be around $1,350. Around that,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more. It kind of varies. The private room's price varies more than the shared room.
Perfect. I think we've already answered some of these questions here. So I think that's about it. Thank you so much, Hannah, Ronnie, Matt, and Rhonda, and Ignacio as well. I don't see him anymore, but thank you so much for presenting tonight at our general meeting and answering all these questions. I see there are a lot of questions that people had, and thank you for sharing the slides. I'll be happy to share it with whoever needs it. And I could not go live on YouTube today, but we are recording this, and so we should be able to upload it soon. And then you can review this this presentation and the Q&A again, because you will be able to see it on YouTube. So it'll be on demand. So thank you again so much for presenting tonight. And I hope you have a wonderful evening, the rest of the evening, and we hope to see you again soon. And thanks everyone who joined us. We had over 50 people who had come in tonight.
Thank you all so much for joining. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Good night, everyone. Bye.